I've been doing this for a long time, okay? I've been on YouTube for a while now, and I've seen what I thought was absolutely everything on YouTube. And then curveballs come along like this every once in a while, and it just completely throws you off, and it makes you wonder, what is going on? Okay, now you're probably wondering what the fuck I'm talking about. Now, this has got to be one of the craziest paranormal dramas I think I've seen in a very, very long time. And it involves two YouTubers, one being a debunker, one being a paranormal YouTuber, which of course is always the way that it gets started. But it started out quite amicably and then kind of spiraled into... I don't know how we got to this point. That's all I'm going to say. So it starts out with Mythos Paranormal, okay? He, of course, is a self-proclaimed paranormal debunker. He does all sorts of stuff. You know, he does his own paranormal investigations and stuff like this. He uploaded a video about 2 months ago stating teaming up with paranormal fakers makes you fake, ? Guilty by association in the title. And it was about a YouTuber called Phantomet, who had teamed up with the likes of James the Fam and people like this. And, you know, Mythos's point was, if... you know, you team up with these people, does that necessarily make you fake? And it was a fair question. Now, Phantomet made a response to this video, and I think the response was very well handled. You know, she's like, I see your points. This is my point of view. You know, and, like, had a bit of a back and forth. I think, you know, the worst that maybe Mythos said within that video was, you know, maybe she had an overdependence on phone apps and stuff like this, but... that's not exactly new on paranormal YouTube, is it? You know, like, YouTubers do depend on that stuff because, obviously, if you get a phone app, say, Demon, then you've got yourself a nice clickbait title, thumbnail, you can get scratches on yourself, you can have yourself, like, you know, shriveled up and possessed and all the rest of it. It's a good time. But then, like, you know, things quiet down after this. You know, no one really says anything. Until Mythos uploads another video about 6 days ago at the time of me recording this video, in which he uploaded the video titled Ghost Hunters Says Haters Better as a Ghost, the Dark Side of Paranormal YouTube. Okay, that's the title. Now, I find this one really interesting because obviously he kind of starts out the video and he's like, you know, I didn't think there was too much of a back and forth, you know, it was all fine. And he says the worst that kind of happened was, you know, I said about overdependence on on phone apps, and he preferred it when her boyfriend was involved because he provided a nice bit of balance to the video, which Phantomet did agree with in her original response. And then this happens.
Where Phantomet did a reply video, and I kind of got a bit annoyed at the end by throwing a few jabs at my subscribers and comments on the video, but I thought, whatever, I can't even be bothered to just go back and forwards with people. But here we are, and there's a reason. But first, she titled the video addressing the rumours at Mythos Paranormal, faking paranormal evidence, immediately implying I'm spreading rumours that she's faking paranormal evidence, therefore leading her fans to come to her support without even listening to me and calling me all sorts. I thought, what the fuck? And I dropped her a DM on Instagram saying, oh, by the way, there was no rumours or anything. You know, when you said addressing the rumours, no one even said anything. She said, oh yeah, that was honestly more of a clickbait title. Bruh. As I say, without watching the video, people automatically presume I'm talking shit and say stuff like, no, this guy is a jerk. Yeah, he's a fucking asshole. Just hate others to make up for being a loser. Crawl back into your sad life and stop hating people like you do and seek help. All comments which are still up on the channel, by the way. If you look at the comments on my video, it's people talking about the question I was putting out on the video.
Now, obviously, that's just YouTube, isn't it? You know, if someone says something and gets replies, then it always kind of, it ends up this way. People will be, like, kind of blindly follow people. That's kind of what you come to expect with YouTube, unfortunately. People, like, of course, they want to defend their favourite creators. And I want to state in this video, I'm not taking sides, I'm just reporting it as I see it, because I took sides on a recent video and it got me in so much hot water. And people, like, started accusing me of all sorts of stuff that just literally never happened, which I still find wild to this day. So I want to have it said, this is neutral ground right here. This channel is neutral ground. But this is where the crux of the conversation starts to get saucy.
Mentality and then acting on it over on Instagram kind of just blew my mind a little bit. Let's check it out. There was this girl called Abigail who said something shitty towards her, but just block her and move on. Or just be a sarcastic twat like I did in her comments when her viewers were being assholes to me while calling me an asshole for no reason. But no, instead of that, she puts up, I don't condone bullying. She clearly does, because she says, but it warms my heart when I post these crazy fuckers and the Phantomet army goes in on them in the comment section. Ah, okay. I'm seeing a pattern here now. She then defends herself, which I'm all for, but someone who doesn't condone bullying and going off what she said about people who commented on my videos, mob mentality and stuff.
Yeah, these comments are really looking like mob mentality here. It's crazy. These comments are crazy. Like everyone that's like, yep, guilty by association. That's very disappointing. And what I think this is more so in the comments is like that mob mentality, like the cancel culture. Let's take them down. People just feed off of each other's energy and it just gets negative so fast.
She then puts up a story saying, oh, Abigail, unfortunately, your comments don't bother me. Clearly do. But I genuinely feel sorry for you. This is a prime example of jealousy and it is a very ugly disease. Imagine being so lonely and miserable that you actually take the time to go to somebody's profile and comment negative things that are actually a reflection of how you feel about yourself and your pathetic, inferior existence on this earth, where you have absolutely nothing to offer except generic insults like calling somebody a whore. Now, of course, calling her a whore is not cool, but what kind of response is that? She says, I would say I wish you all well, but honestly the world would be a better place without you. At least if you were gone, you would offer something interesting such as a disgusting, putrid scent as your spirit passes by.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, there are better ways to go about responding to this. Obviously, Phantomet is, she's got a style. I'm all for it. And this is, I guess, in keeping with that style. And obviously, it wouldn't be how I'd reply to it, but it's how she felt she wanted to reply to it. So Mythos makes this video, and Phantomet wasn't going to let this one slide. Oh, no. So she uploaded a video, I think, around 24 hours later, in which Phantomet uploaded a video titled, I apologise to absolutely nobody. So straight off the bat, you can kind of see where this is going to go. Okay, and yeah.
It has come to my attention that there is not much news with paranormal this week because once again, I have slid into the trenches of the debunking community. However, this has nothing to do with paranormal or ghosts. A channel in which I will not give the grace of naming today decided to
Mythos.
dig some dirt up on me. It seems as though they ran out of things to talk about. So they decided to go back, way back in their Phantomet file to conjure up a good story for the week. My issue here is that the full story wasn't told. It was told in a way to paint me out to be this horrendous villain. And that's not the truth. But hey, I get it. You have to do it in a way that fits your narrative, right? Now, I'm not here to change anybody's mind about me. However, I am here to speak to those who have enough wit to want to hear both sides of the story, or the full story at that, before jumping to conclusions and have an honest opinion on what they think about the situation. Because your opinion may stay the same, it might change. Either way, here's the full story. So
you can kind of see straight from the get-go, she jumped straight into it and she's like, this is what happens. Someone has made this video and I'm going to respond to it, claiming that Mythos only shared half the story. Obviously, I'll go on to continue this video because she claims to give the entire context to the story.
Months ago, months ago, I received a plethora of fake pages harassing me to no end. These pages would pop up over and over again, sending nasty, harassing comments, including details that were in line with the fact that this was some kind of stalker. Now, here we introduce the account Abigail. Now, who is Abigail? We don't know.
Obviously, Abigail, for context, for anyone that's not following the story thus far, is the person that commented on Instagram, okay? It's not in reference to Mythos at all. I think some people actually, like, when they sent this over to me, were like, oh, Phantom's talking about Mythos. No. Like, if you will look at the entire story, Abigail is the account that posted the initial, comments that then went on to get the story reply.
As far as I'm aware, this is some kind of fake profile with who knows hiding behind the account. As far as I know, this could be a 52-year-old man sitting in a dark room behind his keyboard, licking the remnants of hot Cheetos off his fingertips, all while downing a liter of Mountain Dew. But I digress.
It's giving the, is it Big Al from Toy Story 2? It's giving Big Al vibes, the way she described that. I know this is a bit of a caveat and this is a very serious topic, but, you know, I like to inject a bit of humour. It definitely gives Big Al when he falls asleep on the couch. Yes, I've watched Toy Story 2 recently. What you gonna do about it? I've got a toddler.
Now, this Abigail character was relentless. This situation escalated very quickly, and a lot of damage was done before I was even aware of the situation. The only reason I knew is because I had some friends contact me saying, hey, what's going on? Because not only was this Abigail harassing me, they were bringing all of my friends into it. These innocent characters that have no reason to be involved in any of this useless, childish drama.
Okay, so obviously she goes on to give a little bit of context as to why she made that reply in the first place. Obviously, the way that it was portrayed by Mythos was that it was based off of one dealing, okay? But Phantomet refutes that claim and says, no, this had been going on for a long, long time. You know, I'd been harassed to no end by this character. And I got to my wit's end, I suppose, is what she's trying to say.
I shouldn't say anything back, right? Because we must protect poor Abigail. Now, the way that this said channel painted this story was that this sweet, innocent, poor Abigail left just a singular bad comment on one of my pictures, and I snapped. I, in turn, responded back with the most heinous, hurtful, nasty comment from the deepest, darkest pits of hell. And their followers will agree that I am a despicable, disgusting, pathetic human that needs to be dealt with by the police. Now prepare yourself for this insanely dark, scary, horrendous statement of mine, because I'm going to read it to you. Okay, I warned you, trigger warning, brace yourself, this is some scary stuff. So I said, in response to this long string of stalking and harassment, "Oh, Abigail, unfortunately your comments don't bother me, but I genuinely feel sorry for you. This is a prime example of jealousy, and it is a very ugly disease. Imagine being so lonely and miserable that you actually take the time to go to somebody's profile and comment negative things that are actually a reflection of how you feel about yourself and your pathetic, inferior existence on this earth where you have nothing to offer except generic insults like calling somebody a hoe. I would say I wish you well, but honestly, the world would be a better place without you. At least if you were gone, you would offer something interesting, such as a disgusting putrid scent as your spirit passes by." Very poetic. Now, this channel's fan base took this as me directly saying, "Go yourself," which I did not. Okay, you can take it as I was insinuating that, but this is my opinion. And I think that especially my world would be a better place without this character coming into my life and harassing me and everybody around me that I care for. So yes, my world would be a much better place without this said Abigail character. With that being said, I will not be apologizing for what I said. If you come to my page leaving dozens and dozens of psychopathic comments while bringing my friends and boyfriend into it, you will be dealt with accordingly.
Okay, so obviously there's the response, right? The crux of it. She does go on to talk about, like, you know, the reason for her defending herself so kind of bluntly, I suppose, and says that, you know, her dad, who has sadly passed away, you know, would want her to kind of deal and handle herself, you know, in a professional or, you know, in a serious way, okay? And I kind of get it, and I kind of don't at the same time. I'm like, people in the comments section are like, yes, girl, like, you know, well done for standing up for yourself. As far as I'm aware, I don't think Mythos has really responded to this. I'm just scrolling through the comments now. I'm not seeing it. You know, of course, there were people that came over and said, like, you know, maybe you could have handled this a little bit better. To which Phantomette said, like, you know, I handled it basically how I wanted to. Like this comment right here, which says, yeah, you said, oh, I would never tell someone to off themselves, while you stated on a public forum that the world would be better without you. In one breath. Yikes. And then the Phantomette actually replied to this saying, I said I wouldn't go out of my way to go to somebody else's paid unprompted to say, I think that's supposed to be page, unprompted to say rude and crude things. As I said in the video, I will defend myself. That's what that was. And then this person then responded back saying, there's other ways to defend yourself. You don't have to resort to insults. And then, like, on the other hand, there were, like, people like Ghost Cop Paranormal, of course, who is a fairly large YouTube channel now, stating, let's normalise women standing up for themselves more because this was badass. Now let's hear Abigail's side of the story, wipes Cheeto dust off of her hands. And then, obviously, Phantomette responds, thank you, Jade. Obviously, you know, this is one of two... It swings in one or two ways, all right? Some people are like, yes, this is great that somebody is defending themselves. And then you've got the other side who are like, yeah, defend yourselves, but this went too far. And then there's other, I guess this one goes one of three ways. And then there are people like, no, this was not the way to deal with it. Obviously, if you want to check out the full videos, I've just done a very brief summary. There's a lot more context and a lot more information within both the videos, but that kind of gives you the crux of what happened. Go over to Mythos's channel, go over to Phantomette's channel, and, you know, you can check out the videos for yourselves. It doesn't look as if this is going to continue in any capacity, but it's kind of crazy that this was the way that, unfortunately, things had to be handled. You know, I see it from both sides. I do see Phantomette's side of things, you know, everyone gets their wits ends with people, but I also see it from Mythos's side, which is like, you know, maybe that wasn't the best way to go about it. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. No hate. Any hate gets deleted straight off the bat. Like, you know, I don't condone that stuff. And if you're going to be that guy, go and spread that elsewhere. I'm not about it. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. While you're down there, jump scared the hell out of that like button. Subscribe if you're new. I'd love to hear from Mythos or Phantomette about this, if they've got any, you know, thoughts or feelings after the fact. Let's have a chat. Anyway, speak to you later. Peace.